My name is Nur Shafini binti Ahmad Khairuddin. Genting Berhad, founded by the late Tan Sri Lim Koh Tong in 1956 after he imagined to build a resort on top of the mountain in Malaysia. In 1968, Genting Berhad incorporated, and 3 years later, which is in 1971, Genting Berhad listed in Bursa Saham Malaysia. Genting Berhad is mainly an investment holding and management company. Genting made a few of companies which are Genting Malaysia Berhad, Genting Plantation Berhad, and Genting Singapore Limited. Meanwhile, Genting Energy Limited and Resort World Las Vegas LLC are its principal unlisted company. Today, the leader of Genting Berhad is Tan Sri Lim Kok Tai. Genting participates in oil palm plantation for recreation and hospitality, electricity generation, oil and gas, property development, biotechnology, and life science. Genting offers and arranges a number of high-end brands under the categories of leisure and hospitality, including Crockford, Maxims, Resorts World, Genting Club, and Genting Grand. They also have cooperation with well-known brands including Hilton, Premium Outlets, Zouk, Universal Studios, and other brand partners. Before having a segment reporting, there are 3 factors to be considered. Firstly, the nature of business activities. It is defined as any activity carried out with the primary goal of profit maximization. There are 5 business divisions consist of leisure and hospitality, plantation, power, property, and oil and gas. The target market of Genting Berhad are customers from the middle and upper class and also from diverse age and races. Second is existence of managers responsible for the activities. The manager of each segment oversees its operation and maintains regular communication with the chief of decision making. They are responsible for discussing the operation activities, financial resources, and forecasts. Third factor is the availability of information to be presented to the board of directors. The chief of decision maker will use the reports evaluated by the board of directors in decision making for the organization because they contain trustworthy information and overall performance of the company. Next, there are 2 types of segment for Genting Berhad. Firstly is geographical segment. The Genting Berhad has separated the geographical segment based on location globally, which consists of Malaysia, the group country of origin, Singapore, China, India, Egypt, United Kingdom, Bahamas, and United States of America. Next is the business segment. There are 5 business segments of Genting Berhad. First is leisure and hospitality, which consists of gaming, hotel, theme park, retail, and food and beverages. Second is the plantation segment, involved mainly in oil palm plantation in Malaysia and Indonesia, palm oil mining, and related activities. Third segment is the power segment, involved in generation and supply of electric power. Next segment is property segment that involved in property development activities and property investment. And lastly, the oil and gas segment, which include involvement in exploration, development, and production activities of oil and gas. The chief operating decision makers have been identified as the Chairman and Chief Executive Tan Sri Lim Kok Tai and the President and Chief Operating Officer and Executive Director Datuk Sri Tan Kong Han, who are responsible to assigning resources and evaluating the operational segment's performance. They are also responsible to set and create rules, policies, goals, and strategic objectives alongside overseeing the general operation of the company. I will explain about reproduced segmental report of Genting Berhad. According to FAR570, operating segments are only identified as reportable segment and separating disclose if they meet the quantitative based on tests which are 10% threshold tests and 75% rules. The 10% threshold tests are that the percentage of total revenue for each segment divided with the total revenue of all segments that must be in 10% or more to be considered as reportable and to be separately disclosed. It consists of three quantitative thresholds, which is revenue basis, profit basis, and asset basis. Revenue basis is when the total revenue 10% or more of combined revenue of all operating segments. Profit or loss basis, where the reported profit or loss is 10% or more than the combined profit or loss of all profitable and losses operating segment. The last basis is asset basis, which is asset 10% or more of combined assets of all operating segment. As for Genting Berhad, they are using the revenue basis to measure the segment. The operating segment of this company consists of leisure and hospitality, plantation, power, property, and oil and gas. After we apply the 10% test, we can identify that only two operating segments that meet the requirement of more than 10%, which are leisure and hospitality and plantation, with 75% and 60% respectively. Therefore, they are considered as reportable segment and to be disclosed separately in the segmental report. However, for all other segments that did not meet the 10% requirement, as there is less than 10%, are clarified as non-reportable segment and will be combined together on all other segment category in the segmental report.
Next, for the 75% threshold test, in this test, if operating segments does not meet the thresholds to be reported separately, it can still be separately disclosed. To conduct this test, we need to combine external revenue of identified operating segments must be more than 75% of total external revenue of the entity. If total external revenues reported by operating segments less than 75% of total revenues, additional operating segments shall be identified even if the segments fail the 10% threshold test. As the result, we can see that Genting Berhad has 91.48%, which means that Genting Berhad has achieved 75% requirement. Thus, no additional segments to be reported in this segmental report. Next, for the company performance, as you can see in the slide, there are two extracts of segmental report for Genting Berhad. Firstly is total revenue generated by the group for financial year 2022 was 22.3837 billion compared with 13.5295 billion for financial year 2021, an improvement of 65% higher. The revenue was mainly attributable to the better performance of the leisure and hospitality division upon easing of COVID-19 related restrictions worldwide during the year. In 2021, the revenue is 8.6809 billion has increased to 17.3684 billion. Next, for the plantation division, revenue growth was underpinned by stronger palm product prices, mostly moderated by lower sales volumes of refined palm products. Genting Plantation's fresh fruit bunches production declined marginally compared with financial year 2021 as a result of higher rainfall which disrupted harvesting and logistic activities along with lower harvesting area in Malaysia due to replanting activities during the year, showing that in the year 2021, the revenue gain is 3.0304 billion has increased to 3.1072 billion. For the power, the revenue in the year 2021 has decreased marginally from 1.0526 billion to 1.0402 billion due to lower net generation from the Indonesian Banten plant. Next, property also has decreased from 280.9 million to 172.1 million. For oil and gas division had recorded higher revenue mainly due to higher average oil price in the current financial year from 351.3 million to 112.6 million. And lastly, for investment and others, showing an increasement from 133.4 million to 183.2 million. Next, for strategic focus, firstly is strength. Genting Berhad diversified business portfolio, spanning leisure and hospitality, plantation, property development, biotechnology, and oil and gas helps mitigate risks associated with industry fluctuations. Second is global presence, marked by international operations, offers opportunity for revenue growth and exposure to diverse markets. Secondly is weakness. Genting's revenue heavily relies on tourism, making it susceptible to economic downturns, travel restrictions, or global crises. The capital-intensive nature of developing and maintaining resort, casinos, and facilities poses challenges to financial flexibility due to substantial capital investments. And lastly, for opportunities, Genting Berhad can boost customer experience and operational efficiency by embracing technology and advancements in gaming and hospitality, while exploring new industry like renewable energy or technology for additional revenue streams through diversification.
So, in this slide, I would like to talk about basis of preparation interim report. So, basically, Genting Berhad have been prepared this financial statement of the company according to Malaysian Financial Reporting Standard (MFRS), International Financial Standards (IFRS), and comply with the requirements needed by Companies Act 2016 in Malaysia for the year ended 30th June 2023. Besides that, the company also has prepared the financial statement by using historical and consolidated basis. In addition, the interim report has been prepared in accordance with MFRS 134 Interim Financial Reporting as well as paragraph 9.22 of the Bursa Malaysia Berhad listing requirement. Now we move to the accounting policy used by the company to prepare interim report. The first accounting policy is MFRS 140, which is investment property. It is initially measured at cost, including direct transaction costs and borrowing costs, if the investment properties meet the definition of a qualifying asset. Secondly, subsequent expenditure is capitalized to the assets carrying amount only when it is probable that future economic benefits associated with the expenditure will flow to the group and the cost of the item can be measured reliably. Other than that, all other repairs and maintenance costs are expensed when incurred. When part of an investment property is replaced, the carrying amount of the replaced part is derecognized. Furthermore, investment in freehold land is stated at cost and not depreciated. This whole land is amortized using the straight line method over the lease period. Last but not least, consists of investment in land and buildings that are held for long-term rental yield and for capital appreciation and are not occupied by the group.
The second accounting policy is MFRS 116, which is property, plant and equipment. Under MFRS 116, it is stated that the cost will be less accumulated depreciation and less accumulated impairment loss. Expenditure that directly attributable to the acquisition of the item is also included in the cost of PPE. For the depreciation of PPE, the company used straight line method to allocate their cost to residual value over its estimated useful life. As an example, estimated useful life for building is from 15 to 60 years. Plant, equipment and vehicle is from 5 to 50 years and burial plant is 22 years. There are few types of interim report that we identified prepared by Genting Berhad. The first interim report is condensed consolidated statement of financial position. Second is condensed consolidated statement of comprehensive income. And third is condensed statement changes in equity. And the last type is condensed consolidated statement of cash flow.
Next, for the current and comparative period of statement, according to MFRS 134 interim reporting, The current and comparative periods for each statement prepared by the company will be measured from 1st April 2023 to 30th June 2023, the equivalent to the second interim quarter of Genting Berhad in 2023. Let's start with the statement of financial position. Reporting period for current interim in 3 months, which is 1st April 2023 until 30th June 2023. Comparative end of the preceding year, the reporting period is 12 months and the reporting date is 1st January 2022 until 31st December 2022. For the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the current interim reporting period is 3 months, which is 1st April 2023 until 30th June 2023. Cumulative year to date is 6 months, which is 1st January 2023 until 30th June 2023. Comparative for current interim reporting period is 3 months, which is 1st April 2023 until 30th June 2023. And the last one is comparative year to date. Reporting period is 6 months and the reporting date is 1st January 2023 until 30th June 2023. Next, for the statement of changes in equity. Reporting period for cumulative year to date is 3 months, which is 1st April 2023 until 30th June 2023. And comparative year to date reporting period is 6 months, which is 1st January 2023 until 30th June 2023. For statement of cash flow, the reporting period for cumulative year to date is 3 months, which is 1st April 2023 until 30th June 2023. And comparative year to date, reporting period is 6 months, which is 1st January 2023 until 30th June 2023.
There are two adjustments we propose that can be made into the interim reporting. Number one is inventory. The value of inventory as at 30 June 2023 is amounted 796,990,000, while the NRV is amounted 796,880,000. Under the MFRS, inventory are measured at the lowest value between the cost and net realizable value. Since NRV is less than cost, Genting Berhad need to adjust the value of its inventory in accordance with the NRV amounted 796,880,000 in their financial statement. Second adjustment we propose is related to trade receivable. As at 30 June 2023, the account receivable is amounted to 3,352,905,000. The net estimated uncollectible debt is 4%, which means the amount to be adjusted for trade receivable is 96% from its value after being deducted by 4% of the net estimated uncollectible debt. The new value of trade receivable is 3,218,788,800 need to be adjusted by Genting Berhad in their financial statement. Let's take a look for our last segment, which is the comparison between before and after adjustment. The abstract statement of financial position show that the amount of inventories before adjustment is 796,990,000 and after adjustment 796,880,000. They are decreased in inventory amounted to 110,000 ringgit. For trade receivable, the amount before adjustment is 3,352,905,000 and the amount after adjustment is 3,280,788,800. The trade receivable is decreased by 134,116,200. That's all from us. Thank you and see you again.